market swings. If you're up all night worrying about it, we need to review your plan, and today is a great day to do it. Let's simplify your retirement at retiresafestl.com.
This is the Gashouse Gang on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1120 AM, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris Wells' pitch, a swing, and there's a drive to left field. Ref Snyder's there. He has it. This ballgame has come to an end. The Cardinals put up 4 in the 9th inning, but the Red Sox hammered away, beating the Cardinals 18-7.
Yep. Disappointing weekend for the Cardinals in Boston. They dropped 2 in a doubleheader. They lose on Friday as well. And that is it. 3 games, 3 losses at Fenway Park. And the record is now at 4-5 on the season after a brilliant start, winning all 3 in their opening series. Things have not gone the way of the Cardinals, losing 2 of 3 to the Angels and then all 3 to Boston. The season will continue, though, tonight in Pittsburgh as the Cardinals take on the Pirates. We have the pregame show at 4:45. First pitch will be at 5:40 tonight. It's Tom Ackerman and Chris Ranji today on the Gashouse Gang with you until 1 o'clock every Monday through Friday. Every weekday we are here. We will be joined by John Rooney. And as we discuss what happened over the weekend, first we have a little bit of roster stuff, some news to get to.
We do. We have an official transaction, and this is going to happen often on the Gashouse Gang, Chris, because at noon they make these official. Usually they'll send them over via release right at the top at noon. And with our show being at 12:05 and Ollie Marmol dropping some news nuggets every Tuesday, it'll be a very informative show, let's say, as well as opinionated. Let's go down the roster transactions just announced by the Cardinals. So Ivan Herrera has officially been placed on the 10-day injured list with left knee inflammation. Replacing him is Joel Pozo, the catcher who the Cardinals signed to a minor league contract midway through spring training to serve as their third catcher. Joel Pozo's contract has been selected from the Memphis roster. Zach Thompson has been transferred to the 60-day injured list. So the Cardinals make room for Pozo on the 40-man roster, and Gordon Graceffo, the 27th player in yesterday's doubleheader, was returned to the Memphis roster. So again, Herrera goes on the IL. Herrera has knee inflammation. The Cardinals really dodged one here because there was no structural damage or a tear in the MRI that he received. This, however, will continue because he's going to go back here to St. Louis and be further examined. But it looks like Herrera, who was walking around in the clubhouse last night, avoided any serious injury. Pozo's a good catcher. Actually hit a home run in my presence in Port St. Lucie against the Mets. Showed some good power, I thought. So he will be the backup to Pedro Pajes, who's going to get a bulk of the work there. And Pajes had a terrific game yesterday. Zach Thompson, again, on the 60-day, and Gordon Graceffo goes back to Memphis.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Herrera injury, and it did look pretty bad, especially he wasn't able to put any weight on it. I still, and it's encouraging to hear there's nothing structural, but you know how it is with knees. I always get a little concerned that it's something that could hang around for a while. Hopefully in this case, that's not a problem, and that he will be able to come back relatively quickly, and it's not a long-term season-ending thing, but he's been arguably their best offensive player so far.
Without a doubt. He hit a home run to the opposite field. He's just barreling everything at Fenway Park on Friday. Going into that series, he already had the 3 home run games. So with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, an average that was soaring over 400, this was a player that was a big, big loss. It was the worst thing that happened yesterday, actually, even worse than the 2 losses, the first one being worse than the second one. We'll get into all that. But Herrera going on the 10-day IL and being hopefully okay. Hopefully this is something similar to what Jordan Walker went through, where he stepped awkwardly on the sprinkler head, got knee inflammation. It was able to calm down and get him back out there. You just hope it wasn't anything pre-existing or anything like that. It looked like when he made the run from first to third, and I'm sure Ollie Marmol will go into it a little more in depth before the game today, was where he hurt it. Because at third base, he started to kind of wince a little bit. And then I think on a foul pop-up, he tried to break for home plate, and that was where it was like, okay, this is not going well for Herrera, and they had to help him off the field. Fortunately, again, he was up and walking around after the game yesterday.
Yeah, we'll talk to Ollie again tomorrow. We have him every Tuesday for at least a half hour.
Should be an interesting show. I mean, if they get beat again, I mean, we're going to have to hit him. We're going to anyway. Bernie, you, me, listeners, look, he's going to take the questions that need to be asked.
And so
Period.
keep that in mind if you do have questions for Oliver Marmol tomorrow. Marmol will take them. He's going to take your questions, so you can text them to us. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, leave your comment there, leave your question, and we'll try to get to as many of those tomorrow as we possibly can. Again, Ollie joins us at 12. So that is as bad of a weekend as you could have possibly imagined happening for them, aside from a very serious long-term injury. But in terms of the play on the field, with the exception of the game they blew with Ryan Helsley blowing that save in the first one of the doubleheader, they were just pretty much outclassed all weekend.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they got their rear ends handed to them all 3 games. Saturday, of course, the long slog of rain delay didn't really help things except to maybe rest arms a little bit longer. They took that time to actually review Pittsburgh, Ollie Marmol said, to look at the Pirates a little bit during their downtime just to get some advance on them. They play them today.
Yeah.
Pirates beat the Yankees in a walk-off yesterday, so they're feeling pretty good about themselves. We'll talk about them a little bit with John Rooney here at the bottom of the hour, but that was a bad one. The Cardinals can hit. We know that. But they get smoked on Friday. And Eric Fetty giving up 5 runs in the first inning. I mean, thanks a lot. And that's not a great way to start things off. And then the bullpen, of course, gets beat after that. And then Sunday. I mean, look, the second game was the most predictable thing ever. I mean, the Cardinals bullpen gets wiped out. You got Miles Michaelis, who throws strikes right down the middle. And these Red Sox hitters, if anybody's been watching, are hungry at the plate to crush anything. They've all started to turn the corner, it seems like. Then you had Gordon Graceffo waiting there to clean that up. Michaelis can't get out of the third inning. You knew that was coming. You just knew a beating was coming. Sunday night baseball, everybody amped up at Fenway Park. It's the first game that's excruciating because you had that game won. You're up 4-2 in the ninth inning. You give the ball to Ryan Helsley.
Got to win
we're
that.
so accustomed to him closing games out. And he just did not have a feel for the baseball at all. You can't take him out of the game. I mean, it's Ryan Helsley. Like, you've got to assume that he can figure it out. And he almost does. I mean, he almost gets out of it, and then he walks the next batter, Devers, to tie the game, and it's over. He blows the save, and at that point, you're going back to, whatever you can do, and in the 10th inning, you lose the game. So Ryan Helsley, it's rare that it happens, but it happened. There are a lot of things that happen in the game. Base running blunders, some decisions, not being able to drive in runs. But if he does his job, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, he closes the game. That's the excruciating one. And then you get your doors blown off last night, 18-7.
We'll ask Ollie about it tomorrow. I don't really have an issue with the way Helsley's managed there. I think it is his inning. He needs to get it, especially because they have a game coming up in a couple hours after that. So you're not trying to go to the bullpen more often than you need to on a doubleheader day. I have no real problem with that. Where I'm getting a little concerned, and again, it's 9 games. This doesn't necessarily mean anything for the full season, but looking at numbers like strikeouts per 9, they're pretty low in baseball. And a lot of times, if you're not missing bats, you're going to end up having trouble. The ball's getting put in play way too much against the Cardinals, and that's going to end up being problematic for them. And I think we've seen that with, I believe yesterday, Michaelis only had 2 swings and misses, which is not particularly good. So now I'm starting to wonder, for a unit that was supposed to be solid, not necessarily great, but a starting unit that was probably going to be solid, and then a bullpen that should have been really good. So far, they have not been that. And at what point do we get concerned about the pitching staff? Is it too early for that now?
I'm concerned right now. The question is, am I ready to make a move? Like, am I ready to take Michaelis out of the rotation at this moment? I am, but I don't think the Cardinals will.
No, I don't think so either.
That's just my knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching Michaelis, and I know what's going to happen. And when that starts to happen, I'm like, where's McGreevy? I mean, Hunter Dobbins is pitching in this game for the Red Sox. He's their number 9 prospect. And I thought, and it wasn't a second guess, I said it before the game started, wouldn't this be fun to see McGreevy and Dobbins go head-to-head on Sunday Night Baseball at Fenway Park. But we already know the Cardinals aren't going to do that because they have Michaelis under contract, and that's how they feel. They want to put him in the rotation. I am going to be counting the days until they make the move if this is the Miles Michaelis we're just going to continue to see. Now, I'm sure they're willing to give him another start and see if he can get himself figured out, if he can get back to Michaelis pitching to weak contact and not to, balls getting barreled and hit out of the ballpark. So that's what has to happen here for me to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really it. The bullpen, I think, is a good bullpen, but the starters aren't giving them much of an opportunity. Palante shouldn't be let off the hook either. He wasn't very good yesterday.
Bullpen's pitching way too many innings right now.
Yeah. I mean, just, too many pitches. I mean, you can't throw 80-plus pitches in 4 innings. I love Andre Palante. The guy throws, with all an assortment of pitches and has been a battler, but you can't. Michaelis is one thing. Palante is another. Even Fetty, Gray. I mean, Gray maybe gets a little bit of a benefit of the doubt because he's the ace and he's starting to find himself a little bit, but he's going to be matched up with Paul Skeens tomorrow. Look, the rotation's got to give him a chance. Got to give him a chance. Yeah. And Liberatore pitches tonight. Now it's all on his shoulder.
Not trying to pick on Michaelis here, but we're talking about innings and how the bullpen has had to cover far too many innings so far this season. But this is supposed to be one of your innings guys, and he's thrown a total of 8 in his 2 starts. Not good enough. Granted, beginning of the season, that could change. He could develop a better workload and stay effective during that time. But right now, he's not. So I would be lying if I said I was not concerned about what he's doing right now, because maybe this is the best they can expect from him. And if it is, I don't think he's in the rotation for that much longer. He's going to get some leeway because he's got the contract. He is a veteran. So they're going to give him that leeway. But at some point here, if it continues like this, they will have to make some sort of move here.
Something to get him to find what he has. And, they put Matz in the bullpen. Matz is the long man in the bullpen in exchange for Liberatore.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you don't make the move as well. If this is the season where you're giving people quote unquote runway to see what they can do. And here's the other thing. I mean, it's obvious to sit here and pound on the pitching when it's not doing well, but to compound it, you're doing all of this while your offense is setting records. I mean, they're hitting the ball to the point where they just set a National League record for consecutive games to start a season with double-digit hits. No team in the history of the National League has started a season 9 straight games with 10 or more hits. And they could tie the Major League record tonight. And you're 4-5.
Yeah, Ken, who is watching us on YouTube, says it's a red flag scoring 20 runs in a 3-game series and getting swept.
Yeah. I mean, they should be winning ball games with the type of offense they've been able to deliver. Now, granted, they scored 7 runs last night because Thomas Ajayci hit one onto the turnpike late in the game to make it 18-7 instead of 18-4. But still, I mean, they are up and down the lineup. For the most part, the Cardinals have hitters. And I'll repeat it, 10-plus hits tonight. They tie the Major League record starting the season with 10 straight games of double-digit hits. 1999 Cleveland holding that Major League record. So it's pretty impressive. Only the Yankees average more runs per game than the Cardinals. Cardinals average 6.89 per game. The Yankees 8.44. And, of course, we all know they're using torpedo bats. And they have superstars up and down the lineup.
We need more torpedo bats.
Not everybody's using torpedo bats over there. Judge doesn't, but still, they have a great, great team. Also, you're wasting this resurgence of Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado has the longest active hitting streak in baseball. 15 straight games with a hit, hitting 343 during that time. So it is a waste of great offense, unfortunately.
953 OPS so far for Arenado, and that's better, I think, than any of us expect. And again, only about a week and a half worth of games, so a lot can change. But if he can be upwards over 800, that's all you can ask from him. You just need the pitching to start doing its job. You can jump into the conversation with us if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at KMOX Sports. Give us your thoughts. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji. We are going to be joined by John Rooney just after 12:30 on the Gashouse Gang, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey for Window Nation. April is a great time to spruce up around your house, especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. There's no limit to how much you could save, and if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door too. Plus, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027. Just imagine what you could do with all that extra money. Sale ends soon, so hurry and schedule your estimate by calling 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Experienced, trusted, honest. Comptroller Darlene Green showed up for us. Re-elect Darlene Green. She showed up to protect the airport from being privatized. She showed up and saved 3,000 NGA jobs. She showed up and the city earned a AA credit rating. Darlene Green showed up for employee raises, workers' rights, and women's rights. Vote Tuesday, April 8th. Darlene Green for Comptroller, because it's your money.
Paid for by Darlene Green for Comptroller, John Nix, Treasurer.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Community America Credit Union has a new branch in Hazelwood. Join me, Amy Markscores, special Cardinals alumni, and Fred Bird on April 10th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for the grand opening. There'll be exciting prizes and delicious food. See you there.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate. Paid for by Bayer.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Nolan is not homered in this series. The pitch. He drives it into center field, a base hit. The 15-game hitting streak for Arenado.
Well, the hitting streak continues, but the Cardinals lose, and then they lose and lose again. Swept in Boston. Not good, Bob. This show is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Bernie Miklas will be with us tomorrow.
That was an
Tom,
Office Space reference.
Which
right?
one?
Yours, wasn't it? Not good, Bob?
Not great, Bob.
Not
I think
great,
it's from
Bob.
Mad Men.
Was it
Not great, Bob?
Oh, that is from Mad Men.
Yeah. The Pete.
Yeah,
Pete gets on the elevator.
You're right. Gosh, that was a great show.
What an awesome show. Not a good show this weekend. Cardinals stunk. And because of that, I think it has us feeling a certain way about where they are after having such a good feeling about that opener because they won all 3 games in it. You thought, okay, maybe this team could surprise us a little bit. Now, if you want to take the optimistic approach, you can say they're a game and a half out right now. Again, very, very early. But the point is they're not really losing pace from the division leader, which is the Cubs right now. And this is a division that, despite all the Cardinals' faults, they could still win it potentially. It's not out of the question they do, but you can't play like this. You can't do this stuff like over the weekend. You cannot pitch like this.
Now, based on what I saw, my expectations are very, very low. Now, if I get surprised by this team, great. But here's what I want to see out of this team. I want to see improvement across the board from their players. So I like what Ivan Herrera gave, and it's disappointing and it's tough to have an injury, but it is what it is. I want to see Jordan Walker be better. I want to see Nolan Gorman come off the IL and be better. Obviously, Lars Nootbaar has shown me something. I want to see some pitching performances. I want to see improvement. And if I don't see improvement, I want to see younger players take those roles and show me what I have for 26, 27 and beyond. That's my focus on this Cardinals team. Surprise me, show me some excitement, entertain me, and let's see what this season is. I'm not going to sit here all season and say, well, the Cardinals might be able to win this division, when in my heart, I look at the team and I say, I just don't know if they have the pieces to do something like that. It would all have to come together. I have to look at this team, individual players, style, brand of baseball to build on is what I want. And I had it there for a few games. Actually, had it in the Angels series too, to be honest. I mean, all those games, it's not like they were non-competitive. They had 2 extra inning losses, and then they smoked him in the last game. But this Boston series was a reality check of, all righty. I mean, if they go to Pittsburgh and the same thing happens, I mean, it's look at what this 26-man roster is going to give you in the next year, 2, 3.
This message is from Ben, who was watching the Gashouse Gang on YouTube. He says, this is quickly becoming last season flipped. The O was supposed to be great last year and was terrible. The pitching was good. This year, pitching was going to be good, and it's bad. The hitting is great. So far, yeah, that's pretty much what's happened, which means there could be a course correction over the next several weeks. But, you know, if you're looking at the first week and a half, almost 2 weeks, he's exactly right.
There probably will be a course correction, and it'll probably be that the pitching has a great week and the Cardinals offense goes quiet.
Tails off, yeah.
I mean, if you can get both going at the same time, then you're in business. That's what every team strives for. And yes, it already has started that this is a flip from last year. It is early in the season, so I will say that about the offense. As exciting as it is, the math will tell you that things will start to normalize a little bit. And on the pitching side, the hope is that you can see some improvement and have a starter go deep. But I start to get worried when I don't see starters going deep into games.
Yes.
And I get concerned when I see bullpen pieces that I thought were going to be effective, like Ryan Fernandez, who couldn't locate his fastball and was hanging sliders. Certainly, if Helsley were to have a repeat performance like that, my radar, my red flags go up all over the place. I'm very, very concerned if that's the case. But if not, if he can correct himself, then I think you got something going there. The Cardinals don't do anything last year without that bullpen. I mean,
that's right.
Their offense was nowhere to be found, and their bullpen was terrific. If the bullpen starts to falter, I am very concerned.
Granted, the Cardinals have played 10 games. A lot of other teams have only played 9. But they are right now 3rd from the bottom in baseball in innings pitched by their starters. That's not going to work.
No.
You can't be bottom 5 in starter innings. Also, Aaron has checked in and says, and we both have said it's early. Tom and I both have used the phrase it's early. Aaron says, take your it's early and shove it.
Well, Aaron's going to shove everything we ever say, but I never said that it's early. Don't worry. I just said the opposite. I said it's early. The offense is going to regress. I said that I don't think this team can win. I said that basically I'm looking at individual performances. I said nothing of the sort. So I don't know who Aaron's talking to.
Company man, Tom.
I've been the opposite of it today. And the whole weekend.
Tom, I'm with you.
You know, I mean, I can't say it any more plainly. I haven't sugarcoated nothing today. Zero.
That's why I like you, man.
Thank you.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, John Rooney, voice of the Cardinals, joins us next on the Gashouse Gang.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
It is 60 degrees and beautiful in St. Louis. The high today will be 62.
Brought to you by Volley.
Volley.
Level up game night with Volley, the smart TV app for playing games like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or test your knowledge with fun music quizzes and party games. Turn your TV into the ultimate game hub with the Volley app on your Roku or Fire TV. Download it and play today.
Volley.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050, and have a banner day.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
The Red Sox have been all over the Cardinals in this one. A high fly ball, deep right field. Walker at the wall, reaches over and makes the catch. He takes a home run away from Casas.
Boy, it's good to be 6'6", isn't it?
Dude, 6'6" would be awesome. Just give me 3 more inches.
Yeah, you're close, right?
Yeah, I'm like 6'2".
I'm 6'2".
I'm 6'2", right even. Cardinals, not a good weekend in Boston. There was the rain, and then there, of course, were the losses. And now we are joined as we always are on Monday afternoons on the Gashouse Gang, by John Rooney, the radio voice of the Cardinals, who is with us now. The Cardinals are 4-5 on the season. John, how's it going today?
It's a new day. Let's put it that way.
That's right. It's a new day in baseball. You know, one of the great things about baseball, John, is you get to play another game the next day. You get baseball every day, just about. And the Cardinals take on the Pirates. Let's just review for a moment this Boston series and your just overview of what you witnessed there over those 3 days.
Well, basically what we've witnessed all week out of the Cardinals is the pitching hasn't been what we thought it would be. The offense has been more than we thought it would be. The defense has been outstanding. Now, we had Victor Scott making an error on a ball last night early in the game. One of the few mistakes they've made in the field. Eric Fetty has an error, and one of the Cardinals starting pitchers that he committed at home. But the pitching has been the big disappointment. And when you score 7 or more runs, you should win some ball games most of the time. Last year, the Cardinals had 28 games where they scored 7 or more and won 25 of those. This year, they've had 5 already, and they've won only 2. And that's where somebody, I could just hear in my head Harry Carey saying, can't somebody get somebody out? And that's the way it seemed yesterday in the second game. The first game loss hurts a lot more for me than the second game, though. With 4 walks by Ryan Helsley, your closer's going to do that every now and then, but yesterday was just a terrible time for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you're right. It is going to happen. I feel like the Cardinals are in a position, though, maybe more so than a lot of other competitive teams, that they can't really afford that very often, and especially from somebody who was lights out like he was last year.
And he will be lights out. But he just couldn't get the borderline calls. He was wild after that. And to walk 4, give up a hit, he was lucky he didn't lose the ball game right there on the spot. We'd like to see more out of the Cardinal bullpen. We actually thought we'd get more in the early going, and it is early yet, going through 9 games. But Ryan Fernandez just hasn't had the bite on his slider. Chris Roycroft, though, came in last night, and Roycroft looked really, really good. And thank goodness Gordon Graceffo ate up 3 innings. He got tagged for 7 earned runs, but he ate up 3 innings last night that others in the bullpen did not have to eat up. But the Cardinals are going to have to start missing some bats at some point, or the offense just can't keep up a clip of scoring almost 7 runs a game. That's just not going to happen.
No question. You know, I ranked the 3 worst things that happened yesterday. Number 3 being the 18-7 beating. I agree with you. Number 2 being the excruciating loss in 5-4, 10 innings and watching Helsley blow it. Number 1 being Ivan Herrera getting hurt because he was playing so well. But they do, on the surface, it appears, catch a break in that it wasn't a serious knee injury, John.
So you're right, Tom. And he was moving around well on the plane last night. Hopefully, stand on the 10-day IL will be what it takes to get that knee rested, get it back to full strength, and get him back in the lineup, because his bat means a lot, whether he's catching or he's DHing. And they did bring up Joel Pozo. Pozo hit a home run against the Mets during spring training, a guy who has been with Texas 21 games in the big leagues, and then most of the time in the minor leagues, the last 2 years with Las Vegas, part of the Oakland organization. But he has the build of Alejandro Kirk of the Toronto Blue Jays, a stocky guy, but the ball comes off his bat like Kirk. I mean, it just jumps off the bat when he makes contact. So I'm interested to see him when he gets in the lineup up here. He's coming on board with Herrera going on the injured list.
Let's talk about the starting pitching, John, and in particular yesterday's start from Miles Michaelis, and he's had a rough go of it in his first 2 starts through 8 innings of work. The ERA is over 11. He had a couple of good outings in the spring. What are you seeing different from him now as opposed to what he was doing in Florida?
Well, I see what he was doing last year a lot. He's around the plate. He doesn't walk many. But when he leaves the ball up, out over the plate, they just don't miss it. But that's not just Miles. That's most of the Cardinal pitchers right now. If they catch too much of the plate, the Red Sox batters have been hot enough since they started winning their last 2 games in Baltimore. They don't miss much, and a good hitting team is not going to. I mean, look at what the Cardinals have done to pitchers leaving the ball out over the plate to them, as the Redbirds have the second most runs scored, I believe, in baseball, and they have just hit the ball hard, and the approach is really good. But we're seeing that the Cardinal pitchers, when they make a mistake or they get too much of the plate, right now they're just getting tattooed.
Absolutely. And a lot on the shoulders of Matthew Liberatore tonight to have a good start. I would say, even though it's, only been one start, just based on what I've seen from last year, spring training, and this year, he might be your one overpowering guy in this rotation. Gray, Fetty, and Palante. Palante can strike people out. And Michaelis, I don't know that they are as explosive as Liberatore can be.
No, Liberatore's in the mid to upper 90s with his fastball and a very hard late-breaking slider. And then he can take a little bit off that if he has to. That's what he does best when he's on his game. And he comes right after hitters. And I just like his approach, the way he's grown at the major league level. And obviously the Cardinals like that because they put him in the starting rotation. And that's where they thought he would be when they made the trade with the Rosarena going to Tampa Bay. And already Rosarena has moved on to Seattle. So we have Liberatore. Now it's time to see what he does. And I think you can evaluate that trade on a fair basis, just depending on what Liberatore is able to do this year. But what we've seen out of Libby in the bullpen, very good. We hope to see the same, if not better, in a starting situation. And yes, Tom, there is a lot on his shoulders tonight, considering how much the bullpen has been worn out. Even though they were off Thursday and sat around the ballpark all day. I don't know why they couldn't call that earlier on Saturday. It was raining the whole time. But you had a situation where you had to play a doubleheader, and the pitching staff took a beating. And thank goodness Graceffo ate up 3 of those innings in the second game. But we hope that Libby can go get to the 6th and maybe the 7th inning. That might be asking a lot on a very cold night coming up.
Yeah, just pointed this out before we began the segment with you that the Cardinals, and granted, they have played one more game than a lot of other teams have played. They've played 10. A lot of others are at 9, but they are near the bottom in terms of starter innings so far this year. How much of a concern is that for you? If the starters cannot get bulk innings and hand it over to a bullpen and keep them not overworked?
It's not a concern yet, but it's becoming one. And you don't want to have to go into a series like this and, well, we're limited and we just don't have people ready at the AAA level. We have to make a quick move right now, can come up and really be effective. And how much can you keep going to a bullpen right now that has a high ERA that's trying to figure it out as well? A good start by Liberatore tonight could be the beginning of straightening out that problem. But if this continues, it's a huge concern.
And meanwhile, the Pirates walked off the Yankees yesterday. Tommy Pham with the game-winning hit for the Pirates.
I know that guy.
I know. Yeah, Paul Skeens looming tomorrow. John, I know you're doing your work on the Pirates. What do you see in them in the NL Central?
Well, I see a team that I know Skeens came out the other day and said their poor start is not a reflection on management or their manager. It's on the players, and it's up to them to go out and perform. And they have a talented roster, but they have some issues with the back end of their bullpen as they have not had Bednar available. He's off to a rough start. And Barucki came in trying to save a 3-run game in the 9th inning yesterday and gave it up. And then they had to win in extra innings. But I see a Pirate team that when they play the Cardinals, they give the Cardinals the best effort Pittsburgh can put out there. That's what I've seen, especially with Clint Hurdle and then with Shelton managing. That hasn't changed at all over the years, and I don't expect anything different tonight. They are going to battle you inning for inning, even if you have a 4 or 5 run lead on them. I never feel safe with that here at PNC Park.
Yeah, the Pirates have the worst run differential in the league. The other team that has the same minus 22 is the Brewers in this division. Milwaukee's 5-5 on the season. I'm sure you saw it by now, John, that in right field at PNC Park. Last season, there wasn't, for the last couple of years, there was a logo with Roberto Clemente and his retired number on that wall.
It'll be there tonight.
Yeah, it's coming back tonight, but what were your thoughts on that? That they just sort of removed it for an advertisement and did not notify the family of it?
I don't work here. I haven't been here. That's a marketing issue with their club, and the fans and the Roberto Clemente family called them out on it for removing the Roberto Clemente emblem, the number 21 out on the wall and putting up some adult beverage sign, I think they put out there.
Yeah.
And the marketing guy took full blame for it, saying that's my oversight, and it's going to be back for the game tonight. As well it should be. I mean, they have the Clemente wall 21 feet high in right field to honor the great Hall of Famer and humanitarian. And from our view in the press box, I think I can see your house, Chris, from where we are in that press box in Pittsburgh.
That press box is up
there.
there.
The Clemente Bridge, the skyline is beautiful, and at times a long drive to center field, that's a rumor from where we're sitting. But the Clemente name and the legacy should be honored accordingly. And they're going to do that. They made a mistake. They got called on it. And they're taking care of it. So I give them credit for that.
John, have a great call tonight. Thanks so much for this. We always appreciate having you on the Gashouse Gang.
In fact, from my hotel room here at the Fairmont, I can have about the same view I have from the press box in Pittsburgh. Yeah, so the infield's nice and green. The outfield grass, beautiful.
You're on the 30th floor.
Talk to you guys later.
You guys could call a couple innings from there and then just see, just compare, see how it works.
Yeah, why not? Like in the NFL where they put the national radio anymore, you're better off in your living room because you have the refrigerator right behind you. The bathroom's not far away. And you see more of the game off the monitor than you do in some of those locations. But in baseball, we're even though we're high up and away from the field sometimes, we still have, I think, the best viewpoints in all of professional sports.
Yep. And it is a very nice ballpark. It's one of the best in the country.
Beautiful park. It is. It's gorgeous.
John Rooney?
You have a fine day. How's the temperature in St. Louis?
60 degrees.
Well, here it's supposed to be in the 50s, but it feels like it's in the high 40s. Tomorrow, the high's in the 30s. I'll be interested to see if they play tomorrow, considering when we come back here late June, first part of July, it's a 3-game series with a day off for both teams on the Thursday. So that'll be interesting to follow.
We're just going to assume there's a ball game tomorrow. We're not going to.
That's the way we look at it.
Yeah, let's just.
They haven't said any otherwise.
Yeah. All right. John Rooney, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, John.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.
Pre-game show this afternoon, 4:45, and then the Cardinals' first pitch at PNC Park against the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about that alliteration? 5:40 today, right here on KMOX 104.1 FM. You've been listening to Cardinals baseball and FM? Dude, sounds great.
Sure does. These guys sound great. What an odd thing that was, by the way, the Clemente number 21. Can you imagine if that happened at Busch Stadium?
We were talking about that earlier. You got Stan Musial. Let's say you got a logo. We just took it down for a Zinn ad.
Oh, man, they would fly off. They fly off the handle for anything. I mean, the fans would just we would eat them alive. But anyway. It all got corrected.
A message on YouTube from Brian. It says the Cardinals are 4-5. That equals 9. Where is the 10th game? Well, Brian, I'm stupid. I misspoke.
What'd you say?
They played 10. They haven't played 10. They've played 9. I'm stupid. Okay?
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's early.
Do not say it's early again.
I'll say whatever I want.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji. Hey, the Blues are playing well at least. They can go for 13 tonight, 13 in a row. It's Tom and Chris on the Gashouse Gang, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
The Biz Dash returns for its 10th year as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. All levels of runners and walkers welcome. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Big news. In 2025, Social Security will increase by 2.5%. Is that really big news? What does that mean for your retirement wallet? And now for the really tough questions. When and how should you claim your Social Security benefit? How does it fit into your financial future? There are several claiming options, and you don't want to leave money on the table. That's why it's important to work with a professional like Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group. Join Steve for an exclusive Social Security presentation at the All Financial Group office Wednesday, April 16th. This event is complimentary, but you do need to reserve your spot today. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824, or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Make reservations for the 2025 Women of Achievement Luncheon, presented by KMOX. This award luncheon takes place Tuesday, May 13th at the Ritz-Carlton, St. Louis, and celebrates 10 outstanding volunteers from across the St. Louis metropolitan region. Doors open at 11:15. The luncheon runs until 1:30. Reservations are $60 per person. Sign up and find more details now at kmox.com/events.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or ConsumerCellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code FAST. swishradio.com, code FAST.
Now, back to the Gashouse Gang on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1120 AM, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Fowler again, far side Thomas in the slot. Bolduc shoots. He scores! Bolduc, a bomb! A power play goal, 1-0 Blues.
What? 12 in a row? The St. Louis Blues are the hottest team in anything. There is no team in sports that's better than the Blues right now because they have won 12 straight games. They're going to play tonight against Winnipeg, and they will try for lucky 13, Tom Ackerman.
They are so good that ESPN, the network that maybe hasn't paid enough attention to hockey through the years, SportsCenter, the signature show that likes to compare LeBron to everything and talks about the Cowboys and the Yankees and nothing else. Sports Center yesterday had the Blues in their A block. It was unbelievable. I fell out of my chair.
Well, wait, is this because they have hockey back on the station now?
I fell out of my chair. It was, I don't know, but it was, they led with the Final Four. Then they talked about the women's Final Four. Then they went into the NBA. So they led with the Final Four, went into NBA. And then they went Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, Blues.
Wow.
I was floored. They talked about the 12-game win streak. This was on Sunday morning. And it's wonderful. I mean, the Blues, what they're doing, they've ignited the city. The fans in this city, they want excellence, of course, but they love a success story. And what they've done is they've turned it around in short order. They're fun to root for. They play a great style of hockey. They play a complete game. But even when they don't, they find a way to win. I mean, I'm like blown away by the fact that they don't play these great full games. I mean, the game against Pittsburgh, they got outshot. The game against Colorado, they got outshot. Doesn't matter. They're going to find a way to win the game anyway. And they did it both times. It's amazing. It really is. I have had so much fun with this thing. And who knows? Now, this will be their biggest challenge yet. They play at Winnipeg to try to make it 13. Winnipeg's a phenomenal team. But where you're sitting right now, number one wildcard team, stay right there as far as I'm concerned. Get Vegas in the first round, great. I mean, Vegas, go that Pacific route all the way. I'm good with that.
Yeah, Winnipeg has 108 points right now. That's the most in the NHL. So this will be interesting to see how it goes. I'm doing this thing, Tom, where I'm teetering back and forth between this is awesome. I love riding this wave, but also how long can they keep this up? And can they do it when they get into the playoffs? Because, I mean, they'll be in the playoffs. So can they keep this up? I hope that they don't hit a wall here in the next 3 or 4 days.
And they're doing all of it without Colton Parayko.
True.
Who is a huge loss. And they've done this without Parayko and without Dylan Holloway. When they say week to week, that's not good. Day to day is, he might come back. Week to week is, we'll see later. So that's not a good injury there. But they've been able to fill in. I mean, Jimmy Snuggerud's playing college hockey, and a week later, he's a top 6 forward for the Blues in a playoff race.
It's awesome.
It is amazing. So I've been very impressed with Jim Montgomery and how he's been able to do this, and Doug Armstrong for some shrewd moves along the way, including getting Monty to make this happen.
Blues have been a lot of fun to watch, and we will be watching tonight. They try to win their 13th in a row. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be talking about them doing just that. Also, NCAA tournament concludes tonight. How about Houston? That game against Duke, they were down by like 13.
Loved it.
Late in the second half. I thought this is over.
Yeah, loved the craziness of college basketball. That is college basketball at its best. You just never know. I got Houston tonight. I think they're going to beat Florida.
I also picked Houston to win the whole thing.
Did you?
Yeah, when the tournament started. Look at me.
Good for you.
Houston and Florida tonight. That's for your national championship.
I like teams that have never won. Houston's never won a national championship. I'd love to see it.
That is Tom Ackerman. We're back with you tomorrow with Oliver Marmol and Bernie Miklas. So Tom Ackerman, Bernie, me, Chris Ranji, Ollie Marmol tomorrow for the first half hour of the show. He welcomes your questions and your comments on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or you can text them into the show. You know how to do it. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock, Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.